Mayong buntag Pagadan City o sa tibok Zamboanga del Sur. Magandang umaga, buenos dias, Zamboanga Peninsula. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Hatay mga mudta muslimin. Welcome sa isa na namang episode ng Kapihan sa Rehiyon Nueve. Hatid sa inyo ng Philippine Information Agency. Ang programang ito ay isang plataforma na nagsisilbing tagapaghatid ng balita mula sa mga ating iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno upang kanilang mailahad ang mga programa at proyekto para sa ating taong bayan. And for this episode po, sa gitna ng usapin patungkol sa mga brownouts at sa power stability sa buong Mindanao, ay atin pong makakasama ang kinatawan ng National Grid Corporation of the Philippines o NGCP, kung saan po ay atin pong pag-uusapan ang tungkol sa stability ng ating power supply sa buong Mindanao. Ano nga ba ang tunay na estado? And of course, yung mga hakbang na kanilang ginagawa upang mas lalong mapatatag ang power supply dito sa ating rehiyon. And before natin i-introduce ang ating guest, no, gusto lang po natin anyayahan ang ating mga viewers po na manatili po kayong nakatutok, makibahagi by sending us your questions dito po sa ating comment, kung saan po ay naka-live stream po tayo sa PIA Western Mindanao Facebook page. Live din po tayong mapapanood sa lahat ng PIA Provincial Facebook pages, and cross-posted din po tayo sa Zamboanga del Sur and Pagadian City Media. And of course, live din po tayong naka-hook up sa Radyo Pilipinas. We would also like to thank our viewers, no, na nanatiling nakatutok po sa atin. And of course, we have our Barangay Information Officers Network and ang ating pong mga media friends from all over Zamboanga Peninsula. And we have with us live po, kasama po natin sa studio, ang ating mga media friends from Pagadian City. And without much further ado, let me introduce to you sa ating special guest for this episode. We have Mr. Teotimo Romel Ikaw. Siya po ang Lead Specialist, Government Affairs and Regional Government
Relations and Regional Affairs,
and,
Ms. Joy.
yes, ng NGCP. Sir, good morning po and thank you for sitting with me. Ano po yan? Kumusta po sila, sir?
Bago ang lahat, good morning Ms. Joy, and good morning sa lahat ng nanonood. Good morning Pagadian City, and good morning Zamboanga Peninsula, at sa lahat na rin ang nanonood sa live stream natin this morning. So to answer your question po, yung power situation natin is normal naman for Zamboanga del Sur and the rest of Zamboanga Peninsula as well as sa buong Mindanao. So normal ang supply, then may comfortable reserve naman tayo against peak demand po.
Yeah.
So it has been normal for the past few weeks and until this morning po.
Yes, thank you so much for that, sir. No, talagang excited si sir. Hindi pa ako nagtanong. Si sir, meron na siyang kasagutan. Yun sana itatanong natin kay sir na yung overall outlook po ng ating power situation dito po sa Region 9. So ano pa rin yung mga challenges na atin pong na-encounter when it comes to mga power outages at saka yung mga pagkukulang pa po?
In terms of pagkukulang, sasabihin na lang natin na maintenance is key to keeping our power supply or the functioning of the grid at its optimal best po. So, ang pag-uusapan natin dyan is actually yung actual job ng NGCP, which is operations and maintenance of the grid, particularly sa ating mga linya at sa mga towers natin. So, by maintenance, ang sinasabi natin is yung daily operations na meron tayong mga tao nagpupunta sa field and they are doing the maintenance job for each tower or power line involved. So, every year, naka-plot out na po yun. There is a scheduled maintenance activity for both lines as well as substations is scheduled all over dito sa atin. We are Mindanao District 1, so that's the whole Zamboanga Peninsula, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga del Sur, Zamboanga Sibugay, plus the addition of one other province na hindi na po part ng Zamboanga Peninsula, which is Misamis Occidental, but part din siya ng NGCP Mindanao District 1.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we dig deeper into the technicalities, no masyadong technical pag sinabi nating NGCP. So let us educate muna our viewers and our public. Ano po ba talaga itong si NGCP? Ano ang pinagkaiba nito when it comes sa mga cooperatives, electric cooperatives, and power generators po? Kasi hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin po ang medyo hindi pa masyadong familiar.
So, for this morning, meron po tayong short PowerPoint presentation para po sa inyo at para po sa audience po natin.
Yeah. First, sa ngayon po ay medyo nagkakaroon po muna tayo ng medyo technical sa kanila pa pong piniprepare. So habang piniprepare po ng ating technical team, ay pwede po nating bigyan ng explanation po ang ating viewers po.
Yes, of course. NGCP or the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines po is a transmission service provider ng ating kuryente. So ang Philippine power setup po natin is composed of 3 major groups of power players. So yung isang group is yung power generators. Yon ang nagpo-produce ng kuryente. On the other extreme end, we have the distribution utilities or yung tinatawag natin na power cooperatives. So for example, dito sa Pagadian City and Zamboanga del Sur, we have Samsoreco. And in between our power generators or power suppliers at sa distribution utilities or co-ops, nasa gitna po ang NGCP for the transmission function. So power generation, para ang kuryente ng power generators ay makakarating po sa ating distribution utilities or electric cooperatives, dapat may transmission service at doon papasok po si NGCP. So generation, gitna yung transmission, at sa dulo naman we have the electric cooperatives na siya nagko-connecta na from co-op para na sa mga bahay-bahay at mga businesses po natin.
Okay,
So basically, ganun po ang setup.
Okay, so sa akin pong pagka-iintindi, it's sort of merong power generator. Para makarating yung power, na-generate na power is kailangan dumaan sa power transmission,
Tama
which
po.
is yung si NGCP.
Yes
And
po.
si NGCP, siya yung nagsusupply ng kuryente papunta sa ating mga electric cooperatives. And this electric cooperative, siya yung nagsusupply ng kuryente papunta sa mga households, sa mga business establishments. It's not necessarily na kay NGCP mismo nanggaling yung power. Ganun po ba?
Yung power talaga nanggagaling sa power,
Power
generators
generator,
natin
yes.
or sa power suppliers. Mainly yung kay NGCP transmission lang talaga. Pag may power available power si power generator na kinontrata ni electric cooperative, then NGCP is ready to transmit anytime po.
Yes. So ano naman po yung laging madalas na dahilan? Bakit pa rin nagkakaroon tayo ng pabalik-balik na power outages, power interruptions? Ano po yung madalas na kadahilanan?
Okay, yung power interruption po, pwede natin i-divide into 2 major classifications po. Una, yung power interruptions, kung meron tayong scheduled maintenance activities. So yung tinatawag natin na scheduled power interruptions po. Ang pangalawa naman is yung unscheduled o yung power interruption na wala sa schedule. So kadalasan, pag may nangyayari na unscheduled power interruptions, marami tayong possible causes sa ganon. So, it could be a lack of supply. May problema siguro sa power generation, so kulang ang supply ng kuryente. So, kaya nangyayari na unscheduled power interruption. Other factors to consider also, usually, like for example, vegetation, which sometimes results to obstruction of the line. So kunyari may kahoy malapit sa transmission line natin, tapos when the wind blows, yung sanga ng kahoy napupunta sa transmission line, it could be a possible cause for the line na mag-tripping siya. So ang resulta ng tripping ng line, naturally may scheduled power interruption na mangyayari. It could also be kunyari, may vines for example na hindi naputol tapos umakyat sa tower and ultimately reaching our wires. Posible din 'yon. Then also sometimes weather can also be considered as a possible factor po. Then some other practices na pagpalagay na lang natin na makaka-obstruct or makaka-affect sa functioning ng transmission lines natin. So with that, we would like to call on our listeners and our viewers to observe safety practices po, particularly kung may transmission lines tayo sa malapit sa area nila po. So one thing is bawal po magtanim ng punong kahoy pag may transmission line malapit sa area. So if you are near a transmission line, kung pwede, wag na lang tayo magtanim ng kahoy doon. Let's plant our trees some other place. Tapos, pag may kahoy na existing, kung pwede nating putulin po yung sanga na malapit sa transmission line, kung may magpupunta doon na taga-NGCP, please na lang po allow them to, cut the line. Sorry, not the line. Cut the branch of the tree. Papayagan niya lang po. Kasi we are looking at two things. One is safety po ng mga tao malapit sa area. And pangalawa, we are making sure na walang unscheduled power interruptions na mangyayari. Some other practices also, wag nating gawing sampayan yung paa ng towers natin. Minsan there are some cases na yung paa ng towers po nilalagyan ng string or any other material tapos maglaba yon nakasampay yung labahin nila. So that's one harmful practice also. One other thing, kung we are in an agricultural area, may farm animals tayo, wag na nating ibuhol yung tali ng kalabaw or baka sa paa ng tower. Then one thing also, it's summer season. This goes to parents at saka sa particularly parents na may grade school kids. Kung pwede po, hindi po tayo magpapalipad ng saranggola kung malapit sa transmission lines. Kasi kite flying could offer a possible chance na one, electrocution sa nagpapalipad ng saranggola and resulting from that, a possible unscheduled power interruption na naman na hindi natin gusto lahat.
Oo, parang maliit lang siya, no? Tingnan na kite flying, pero malaki pala yung impact pag sumabit siya sa mga kable.
Agree po, yes
Bakit po siya nakakuryente? Dahil ba yung yung hawakan ng kite, basa po ba? Kaya pwedeng makuryente?
Posible yun. Yung kite, when it flies, there is always the chance na makakalapit siya sa transmission line natin. I mean, it's already at a particular height, mataas na yon, pero lumilipad yung kite, pwede mabuhol sa transmission line mismo. At pag nangyari yon, usually may practice nun, binabasa yung string ng kite para it has a little weight and medyo stable yung pagpapalipad. So yun, basa yun, it is a very good conductor. So what happens, nabubuhol yung saranggola sa transmission line. So yung kuryente pwedeng bababa to the string, and kung sino may hawak doon, God forbid, talagang there's a very big chance makukuryente. So let's prevent electrocution accidents. Then also, again, let us prevent unscheduled power interruptions po. So, ganito na lang. Kung magpapalipad ng saranggola, Then make sure na walang transmission lines malapit sa area na doon magpapalipad ang mga school children po natin.
Yes, nabanggit niyo po kanina yung mga isa sa mga dahilan ng ating mga power outages is yung ating, of course, ating weather. Pero bago ko po tanungin kayo about dyan, okay na po ang ating PowerPoint presentation ni Sir according to our tech team. So okay na po, Sir, pwede na po natin ipakita, Sir. Yung gustong ipakita ni Sir o gustong ipabahagi ni Sir
Ng
para sa
NGCP.
ating ng NGCP
Sa ating
para sa ating public for
viewing public.
education. Opo, see. We will watch. Hindi pa rin. So it's a prank. Hindi pa rin. Sir, nabanggit niyo po kanina yung
Yes po.
yung weather. So mapapansin po natin
Weather
ngayon.
disturbances would
Yes,
also be a possible cause. Like for example, may lightning strike tayo.
Ayan, sir. Sorry, sir. Ayan na, sir. Ito na po yung inyong PowerPoint presentation, sir. Yung patungkol, ano nga ang pinagkaiba ni NGCP sa ating mga power suppliers, generators, at saka sa ating mga electric cooperatives. Sir, go on, sir.
Okay, so yun, NGCP's mandate. So NGCP is a transmission service provider in charge of delivering reliable and quality power po.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Parang nakihirapan tayo, sir. Sige, sir.
So yun, in our graphics yun, makikita niyo, just like what I said kanina, na there are major groups. So generation, transmission, distribution, at from the distribution, yun na nga ang pumupunta sa mga consumers natin, households and industries or businesses.
Yes, sir. Napapansin po natin, sir, nabanggit nyo kanina kasi yung weather, sa init ng panahon ngayon, pansin na pansin natin yan, ramdam na ramdam. Hindi lang pansin, kundi ramdam na ramdam, yung init ng panahon. So, paano po ba ito nakakaapekto sa ating supply ng kuryente, kung sakali man? And pag-generate and pagbibigay ng kuryente sa ating mga households?
So far, for now, normal naman ang operations natin. When it comes to the summer season na medyo mataas yung temperature, ang ikinababahala natin is one, yung sinabi ko kanina na kite flying, at pangalawa is the possibility of grass fire. Kasi mataas yung temperature, tuyong-tuyo yung paligid, then, in a setting like ours na agricultural tayo, so we have plants, we have trees, meron tayong refuse or garbage na pwedeng masunog anytime. So, ganitong summer na medyo mataas ang temperature, then the danger ng grass fire is really very real po. It takes only, one small cigarette butt perhaps na itinapon lang, that could be possible. So, what happens kung magkakasunog po ilalim sa transmission line natin, there could be a possible ionization ng transmission line. So, resulta pa rin dyan is unscheduled power interruption na naman.
Kumusta naman po yung ating mga grid, sir? Yung grid natin, Mindanao grid, kumusta naman po yung ating mga towers? Gaano po ba ito ka-critical when it comes to power stability po sa ating region?
Yung facilities ng NGCP, I think is really very vital because yun nga, it is the sole transmission service provider, so it has to be there para yung power ng mga planta natin, yung power suppliers natin, will be able to reach po our distribution utilities po. So in keeping the integrity of those lines, again, maintenance is key. So our operations and maintenance personnel are always doing their job on a daily basis, as well as scheduled maintenance activities po. Then kasabay niyan, we also have regular security checks from our security department to determine na secure yung location po ng secure yung areas na andoon yung mga transmission assets natin, both towers and lines po. Then as well as other than that, NGCP also, it's true to its mandate to operate, maintain, as well as develop and expand the grid. So right now as we speak, the Mindanao grid portion, the Mindanao portion of the whole Philippine power grid is actually transmission ready. NGCP Mindanao is ready for around 1,400 megawatts of incoming power supply. So other than that transmission is ready, I think we need new power sources. Sana merong mga bagong magtatayo ng planta. There would be people and companies who are willing to invest in new power generation plants para ma-connect na po natin sa sa power grid ng NGCP Mindanao. We are ready for about 1,400 megawatts po.
Okay, eksakto yung magiging kasunod nating tanong mula sa ating local media from Zamboanga, Sibugay. We will now accommodate questions from our friends, media friends. Unahin ko muna itong si Zamboanga, Sibugay. Talagang nasasakto doon sa sinabi nyo lang. Yung tanong niya po is, with growing infrastructure and digitalization efforts in the region, kaya po ba ang current transmission system ang future demand? Kung baga, how important is energy stability in supporting government digitalization and connectivity programs?
NGCP actually is operating along the same principle po. So, more modernization and digitalization and all. And as I said a while ago, NGCP nga is actually ready kung may incoming new sources, new power generation plans. So as far as operation is concerned, NGCP also is not only operating, maintaining, or expanding the grid, but also it is developing the grid towards that particular stage na it can also play along with the digital age. So NGCP, the general environment is going digital. NGCP also is trying to go along with the same pace of digital development po.
Okay, thank you so much. We have Mr. Junray Tibor from Bigada who will be asking po yung sa inyo po.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning po.
Yes, sir. Marami kasi, even kami, marami din yung mga nagtatanong ba na bakit ang daming charges like system loss charge. Basta maraming charges nandun na nakalagay sa bill. Almost 50% po yung nagiging charges. Like for example, no? Pag itotal mo na yung total babayaran mo, almost half po ng babayaran mo, yun yung charge. At ang tanong ko rin po is, saan po ba nanggaling yung charges? Sa planta lang po ba? Or whole Philippines po yung pag-compute ng charges, sir?
Okay, sir. I think let's go back to what I said a while ago na there are three major players in the Philippine power setup. So we have the power generation, we have transmission, and we have distribution. So kung titingnan natin po yung monthly power bills natin na which is issued by the electric co-op kung saan tayo nakakonect, if we will thoroughly inspect po ng power bills natin, makikita natin doon na it is divided into generation charges, meron ko konting transmission charge, tapos the rest also we have distribution charges, so on and so forth. Now, yung generation, yung usually ang pinakamalaki, yun ang binabayaran po natin for the power supplied by the generation company. So sa kanila po yun. Then sa distribution, that is also charges coming po sa distribution utilities or electric cooperative. And of course, there is transmission charge, but then we even at this moment as we speak, NGCP can assure the public that transmission charges remains at the usual level of around 3% only sa buong power bill po natin. Now, to put that into perspective, NGCP charges has transmission charges, but it observes a price cap because we can only operate within the bounds of what's kung ano talaga ang dapat i-charge na, which is around 3% lang. We cannot go beyond that because it is the only thing allowed by our regulatory bodies like the ERC and the DOE po. So, yung concern po ninyo, sir, ano siya, yung charges po, so it could be based or divided sa generation charges as well as sa distribution. Then kasama na po dyan yung transmission, which is at a stable 3% lang po.
Hello. How about, sir, yung system loss charge? Is it justifiable, sir, na yung consumer po yung magbabayad ng mga losses na yun?
As for the system loss, I think that's a question po better addressed to our distribution utilities po or sa ating mga co-ops kasi yung system losses po are charges imposed by the electric co-op po. So they charge around 3% and by law I think they can go as high as 12.5% po.
So, yun po yung transmission system loss charge po, sir. Yun po yung
Again, yung systems loss sa ano pa rin po, sa distribution utilities.
sorry po,
Po.
Yes, sir.
Thank you po.
Another question po. Ano po ba yung malaking epekto ng gera sa Middle East sa ano po natin, sa energy po natin dito sa Pilipinas?
Okay po. In terms of transmission, NGCP will continue with its function which is mandated by law. So if there is available power, NGCP is ready to transmit any and all power available po. As to as to rumors about rotational interruptions and all, we will defer to our regulatory bodies like the DOE and the ERC kung ano po yung directional policies po nila. So as of now, transmission-wise, NGCP is fully functioning as a transmission service po.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
Okay.
din po, sir.
Daghang salamat. Next to us, we have Roji Monera, Wonder Radio.
Hello, Sir Roji.
Hello sir, maayong buntag.
Maayong buntag, sir.
Oo, kita no. Sir,
Yes,
dito
sir.
lang ko mo kumusta man tong mga nagkaraan na tong mga tower sa NGCP in terms na niya og moabot ng ting bagyo. Wala ba tay inabay mga maintenance sir labi na sa Lanao area kay sagad pa nga reklamo din dapita magdumili gyud sa pagpulong sa ilahang mga kahoy unya usahay bombahan sa diha takilid wa na hinuntay kuryente dire. Musta na ang update ani nilang mga tower na to sa mga area, sir?
That should have been a question sa ako ang counterpart no sa Lanao area, but then considering that we are the same NGCP, we can give you assurance nga padayon ang atong maintenance activities. So part of the maintenance activities yun nga is the clearing of vegetation and other obstructions, which is also compliant with RA 11361 or the Anti-Obstruction of Power Lines Act of 2018. So other than that, as you said nga, sometimes there are difficult owners po, but then NGCP on its for its part is doing everything na pwede nato buhaton to negotiate with those landowners that we will be allowed to do our usual clearing operations po. And so far, everything is running smoothly naman po, sir.
Second question, sir. Nata sa summer, kumusta man ang inyong transmission? Wala ba katay shortage mahitabo ani labi na nga taas gyapong init, sir, in terms sa gikan sa mga generation power ang inyong kwan? Supply na to kamoy silbing tulay kumusta sir wala ba tay mga
So far, transmission of our transmission function is normal po. Then of course, since we are transmitting normally, we can safely assume na ang supply na to padayon gihapon. So as we speak, everything is normal po naman.
Lastly, sir, kumusta man tong dapitan to interconnection sa Cebu to Batodre, sir, sa sa Mindanao? Unsay update ato Visayas Mindanao, sir? Operational ba to siya o Padayon
Okay, sir. You mean the MBIP or the Mindanao Visayas Interconnection? Ang atong Mindanao Visayas Interconnection has been functioning for around 3 years na po. So, last April 30, 2026 marks the exact 3 years nga nag-function na ang ato ang Mindanao Visayas Interconnection. So, it was first energized April 30, 2023 and it has been functioning ever since po. So we are officially connected na ang Visayas o ang Mindanao. So the vision of one whole Philippine grid is already reality po. So connected na Visayas, Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao, sir.
Habo lang question, sir.
Yes,
Ingon,
sir.
3% no nga mo reflect sa among bill sa mga consumer ang transmission. Wala ra ba tay ingon nga di ba sa basta makapataas sir no yung single diha lang gyud other aproban ni sa ERC tama ba sir?
Yes po. Transmission charges or yung charges na napupunta sa NGCP po is observing a price cap.
Okay po.
Okay, daghang salamat. Next to us, we have Jason Revelo, still from Wonder Radio.
Sir Jason, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Nice to
Kita
see you
niya po,
again, sir.
Salamat, sir. Sa ito ang pangutan na nahimo na medyo natong problema karon sir no kining sige bitaw brown out, kining power interruption nahimo na jud natong problema. Karon nga bulan adunay dako mong operation katong mga inyo ang pag-restore sa transmission service. Unsa man ni sulbad na kanis atong problema dinhi sa ato ang rehiyon. Karon nga bulan lang gyud. Transmission service sa NGCP dinhi sa ato ang rehiyon. Dako na ba to, dako ka tong tabang sir nga dili na ta magka power interruption diri sa ato ang rehiyon labi na dinhi sa ato ang lugar.
Any and all maintenance po, sir, will really contribute to the overall function sa ato ang transmission system. So, as I said a while ago, maintenance activities are regularly scheduled, precisely geared for that purpose to maintain the optimal functioning sa ato ang transmission facilities. So, recently, it involved Samsoreco one. I think that was a week ago. That was a regular part of the annual preventive maintenance schedule of NGCP for Mindanao District 1, sir. So, in terms of contribution to the overall functioning, it has really contributed a lot because it allowed us na ma-maintain nato ang linya, ma-maintain nato ang ato ang facilities, mga gamit sa substation and all other associated equipment relevant to the operation of this portion of the grid sa Zamboanga Peninsula, sir.
Mahitabo sir nga saga jud nga ato ang naay mga unscheduled nga power interruption unya naadyoy makakuan jud ba kay usa sa mga rason hinungdan nga madaot ang ato mga appliances kada bitong palong siga palong na pod imbis imong i-off imong plangka para inigbalik makuan mikalit lag siga unsa man jud usa sa mga rason hinungdan nga ingon ana man ang ato ang kutay sa linyas kuryente sir ug unsa po ang inyong serbisyo dili unta ta makasinati og sama ni ana.
Kanang na ang situation nga siga palong, I think we have to qualify that. First, we must make sure asa nga linya because an unscheduled power interruption sometimes is not just entirely NGCP. There could be cases nga ang power interruption is actually on the lines of the electric co-op po. So, we have to qualify that for every unscheduled power interruption, we have to qualify whether it's NGCP line or it is linya ba sa ato ang electric cooperative, sir.
So ingon ana no. So sa ato pa
Dili tanan nga power interruption NGCP line. Yes, we agree. Sometimes also it could be sa ato ang local co-op sa atong electric service provider.
Dugang na kong pangutana, sir. Magbase ta dito sa Luzon, bag-uhay lang naigo. Dunay mga area dito naigo og 5.0 nga linog ug magnitude. Unsa kahay mga posibleng pagpangandam ninyo kung ugaling adunay mga panghitabo sa entire Region 9? Kung adunay mga linog nga mga panghitabo, dako ba og epekto ni sa ato ang buhatan kung adunay sama niini mga panghitabo agi pod sa kinaiyahan?
Wala gyud gusto ana no, God forbid nga naay mahitabo nga natural disaster, linog ug unsa pa ba. But then it's not only about maintenance. We at NGCP also observes a certain level of preparedness if ever naay mahitabo nga natural disasters. So we have protocols in place for daily operations, but more than that, we have protocols in place just in case there are emergencies po. So for one, we have quick response teams that will be readily assembled and deployed kung asa na ay mahitabo nga natural disaster. So preparedness, we also believe preparedness is key. So we have to do maintenance work on a daily basis, and also we prepare for any eventualities po.
Sige sir, kanalan sir.
Thank you, Sir Jason.
Okay, daghang salamat Sir Jay. Next to us, we have Cheryl Lirazan, Radio Bagting.
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning,
Good
Miss
evening.
Te.
Good morning, classmates. All right. My question is all about. All right. You've mentioned earlier, sir, that one of the factors to consider in the scheduled power interruption is the lack of power supply. Di ba? Usahay, kulang ang power supply nga mahatod.
Possible cause po.
Yes,
Oo.
possible cause. So,
Yes
what
po.
proactive steps or any steps done by the NGCP to solve these isolated concerns?
Yung power generation po is entirely the business po sa power generators natin. But on the side of NGCP, as I said a while ago, if there is available power, then NGCP is always ready to transmit po.
Thank you. And another question, due to the rising complaints of consumers, member consumer owners with regards to unscheduled power interruption, sometimes maingon dayon ang NGCP nga NGCP personnel conducting foot patrolling. Kini sir, wala pa ba'y nakaimbento nga kanang bitaw makadetect directly sa area asa dapita ang kining naay depekto ba sa kining pagka palong sa kuryente sa NGCP kay ang mga consumers manggod kay mingon dayon nga dugaya po na nila mahibaw-an oy nga nag foot patrolling pa man di ay sila ana ba wala pa'y nakaimbento or
Mr. We have to be very realistic. We know it can be detected kung asa dapit ang ato ang possible location sa ato ang fault sa which is causing the power interruption. But then whether we like it or not, it really takes time naman po for our personnel assigned to the area to get from where they are going to the area po. So kung medyo malayo, then it will take a little bit of time naman po. But the time between where they are and going there is reasonable naman po. So it makes sense naman po na wala yung tao under naka-standby under the line po, and we don't know where the next power fault might occur along the same line. So yun nga, necessary actually yung foot patrol para mahanap kung asan talaga yung fault at kung ano ang dapat ayusin po.
Thank you, sir. So, naminaw naman siguro po mo and mga viewers po nato. So, mo to'y reason no nga, kinahanglan nga, ato pong sabton ang NGCP personnel with regards to kaning unscheduled power interruption nga mag-conduct of foot patrolling. Alright,
Agree with
another,
you, Ms. Je.
yeah. Another question, sir. Naabay FB page ang NGCP Mindanao District 1 nga kanabitong inig na ay mga scheduled power interruption or unscheduled power interruption later on nga ma-post bitaw dayon siya kay
NGCP has a corporate Facebook page, and all announcements about power interruptions is both scheduled and unscheduled. Nandun po lahat actually.
one page lang, centralized
yes
lang
po.
siya, sir.
Then what we are doing actually,
Okay.
nakatag din even yung affected na distribution utilities or electric cooperative po. So
Alright.
at this point, we'd like to call on also to our media friends present na pwede rin, kung pwede, i-follow nyo naman kami sa Facebook page namin so we can both be updated po.
Alright, sir. Gani, last question. This
Sige
is for
po.
the record, sir.
Yes
Sa
po.
scheduled power interruption, especially magkandak mo og preventive maintenance,
Yes po.
diba, mudagan siya 8 to 10 hours usahay kay dili man gud siya mo balik din sa time kay kining mga Pinoy kay mo reklamo dayon nga uy alas 5 na wa pa gyapon ni balik. Pwede ba ma-explain, sir, or kani nga time nga duration nga inyong gihatag is estimated lang ni siya kay there is no perfect, diba, sir, nga anang alas 5 jud mabalik jud dayon ana, sir.
You're exactly describing it realistically, Ms. Che. So it is an estimated time to go through everything from start to finish of the maintenance schedule. So sometimes it will take a little bit more. Then pangalawa, hindi yon babalik na basta-basta na lang. They have to make sure na they have this term yung mga technical persons natin na they have to make sure na nagno-normalize yung line. Hindi bigla-bigla na nagre-restore. So, restored sa NGCP, then sometimes it takes a little bit more of time, additional minutes sa affected co-ops natin na magno-normalize din sila bago mababalik po lahat. So,
Alright.
hindi yun instant na ano siya.
Alright, thank
But
you,
then
sir.
we try to stick to the schedule as much as we possibly can po.
Okay, sir. Thank you kay sometimes manggod ang mabutan ang samsurekuan. Wa sila usay manggod ang mga MCOs di sila maka-identify kung in GCP ba ni siya nga power interruption, samsureco ba ni siya nga power interruption, and so on and so forth. Thank you, sir.
Thank you then, Ms. Che. And at this point, we are very grateful naman po for media friends like you na sinusuportahan po kami sa pag-explain po sa viewing public po natin. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Next to us, we have Marilyn Alawan, RMND XPR.
Banggit niyo po kanina na sana may mga bagong power generation plants at handa po na mag-invest ang NGCP. How about po sa pagdami ng mga renewable energy sources tulad ng solar power? Handa rin po ba ang NGCP para po rito?
By the word invest, what I was, let's make this qualified and clear. NGCP has an available capacity of around 1,400 MW for Mindanao, and NGCP is looking forward na sana merong mga bagong investors sa power generation po. So, handa naman po ang NGCP for incoming power generation companies na gustong mag-connect sa gustong mag-connect sa Mindanao grid, and so with the Visayas and Luzon grids naman po.
Yes sir, no, as of now may ongoing projects po ba ang NGCP para mas mapalakas po ang power transmission lalo na dito sa probinsya sa Zamboanga del Sur?
NGCP for its part is also developing further the portion of the grid sa Mindanao District 1 po. So as we mentioned a while ago, the Mindanao Visayas interconnection is already in place, and with that there are associated projects which are incoming to further boost the capacity of NGCP in this area of the Zamboanga Peninsula po.
Ayan. Thank
so
you
there
po,
will
sir.
be incoming projects in the coming years.
Thank you po, sir.
Sige po. Thank you, Miss
Okay.
Marley.
Asahan natin yung incoming projects for the coming years. Okay, next to ask, we have Christina.
Of course, it's already in the drawing board po. So,
It's in the pipeline.
yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, next to ask, we have Miss Christina Galamiton.
Yes, good
Brigada.
morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ms.
For
Chris.
clarification lang po, sir. Tanong ko lang po, ano ba ang kaibahan ng power interruption ng NGCP at saka sa cooperation or like sa Samsurico 1? Kay kadalasan, pag mag-brand out, sala dyan ni sa Samsurico ba? Ana, dyan na sagad, sir. Mo dyan na sagad na ako nga makuan, sir. Din. Kami nga, as mga nasa radio, ma-explain po na mo kung unsa gyud ang rason kay mingon ba, ma'am, unsa day, ano man tong kalit lang man tong dunay power interruption. Ana lang, sir. Ato lang nga for clarification sa mga viewers or sa mga consumers po.
Nangyayari din yon sa NGCP, yung reaction na sinasabi niyo. It goes both ways, Miss Chris. But, yun na nga, depende kung sino talaga yung may-ari ng linya. So if it is an NGCP line, then kami naman sa NGCP, we always make an announcement. So siguro we will also yung hindi pa included sa loop natin, then we will include you in the loop. So the next time around na mag-i-issue po ang NGCP ng Power Advisory, then you will be able to know po. So in the same way, I think yung mga electric co-ops natin, meron din sila mga announcement kung yung power interruption ay nangyayari sa linya nila. So yung sinasabi niyo pong reaction, I think hindi lang Samsoreco or mga co-ops, but also nangyayari din yun sa NGCP, Ms. Chris. And at this point, we'd like to say thank you for, helping us explain to the public na nangyayari talaga ang mga ganon, na sometimes there are unscheduled power interruptions talaga owing to some unforeseen factors po.
Last, sir, yung sa nangyari kagabi ba yun? Always na nag-brand out like sa Dumalinaw. Siguro sa or your sa kadlawon po daw, sir. So ambot kung kinsa ang kuan ni sadan ang kuan ba?
On the part of NGCP, right now as we speak, so far wala pong notification na may there's a tripping sa linya po natin going in that direction. That would be the Aurora San Miguel 69 kV line, and as of the latest before po nagpunta tayo this morning, clear naman po, wala pong nangyari na unscheduled power interruption po.
Okay, salamat po, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Chris.
Okay, dahang salamat. Last question na lang from our Sibugay Media. Meron siyang
Yes
tanong
po.
dito. The Zamboanga Peninsula has potential for renewable energy projects such as solar and hydropower. How
Yes po.
ready is the transmission system to accommodate these future energy sources?
As I said, Ms. Joy, again, NGCP Mindanao is ready for an additional 1,400 megawatts capacity po. And it is, as we go along, NGCP is still trying to go further with its planned development of the grid in this part of Mindanao, which is the Zamboanga Peninsula. So, one thing lang siguro, if there is an incoming project, power generation project, so one thing they'd better make sure that they are in the right location, which is also accessible to the existing transmission lines of NGCP po.
Okay, hindi pa pala siya last kasi merong humabol. Merong
Yes
gusto
po,
pang
Ms. Joy.
magtanong. We have Mr. Elmer Maghanoy, Radio Kidlat.
Hello, Sir Elmer. Good morning.
Good morning po, no, sir at saka ma'am. Additional lang ito, ma'am, no, sa additional information sa sinabi ni Ma'am Galamiton. Sino bang may kasalanan? NGCP ba o Samsurico pag nawala yung kuryente? So, hindi natin kalimutan na tatlo ang may system sa kuryente. From the generation, transmission ang NGCP, and distribution ang Samsurico. Pag walang kuryente na mabibigay, walay kuryente nga ikahatag ang generation sector, katuntagya sa planta ba? Generation sector mo'y nag-generate sa kuryente. Wala ganing mahatag, ang NGCP wala po'y mahatag. Ang electric cooperative po, wala po'y mahatag. So, usa na sa hinungdan nga nung walay kuryente. Pag walang may ibigay na kuryente, yung generation. Pangalawa, pag mayroong kuryente ang generation sector, tapos ang NGCP, yung line niya may problema, halimbawa yung tinanggalan ng bolt, na back down yung tower, so wala siyang may ibigay na kuryente sa isang electric cooperative, siyempre, ang Samsurico din, wala ding may ibigay na kuryente. Naay kuryente ang generation, pero ang problema ang transmission lines, so wag hapoy kuryente. Ikatulo, pag may kuryente ang generation, okay ang transmission lines ng NGCP, ang problema ang substation sa electric cooperative, wala yung kuryente, pareha itong gabi So, doon ay mga linya, no? Mga linya sa sa electric cooperative kanang Samsurico no, nga naagi mga problema. Labi na nga nag-ulan nagsugod, ang mga kahoy nagsugod naglipang, ang uban nga mga gabok ng kahoy mabali na. Di naman wala pa manggoy mananagan, wala pang yung may bulang kristal ba nga nag-apply sa NGCP or sa electric cooperative na pag mayroong mawalang kuryente, may brownout, ako, alam ko, kahit na mamaya pa. Wala pa yung nag-apply na nga mananagaan. So, nag-hiring ang Samsurico, ana. So, wala'y mahimo ang Samsurico, no, pag naay problema. So, usahay ang blame, NGCP raman ni og Samsurico hinungdan. How about di ay sa generation sector? At least nga hapit ta kay naay taga NGCP, additional input sa tua, na sila, plus ang program po sa Samsurico no, everyday, 8:30 to 9, Monday to Saturday. Di ba? Ang information dissemination sa electric cooperative, Monday to Saturday. 8:30 to 9, hindi yung oras, wala na yung otro para wala na yung maadtuan ba? So at least nga, additional lang to input sir, kay di sa maglibog ba? Generation, transmission, o ang distribution nga mo ay Samsurico. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your input, sir, and for your sharing mga knowledge. No? Next, we have Mr. Rex Rabutin, Radio Kidlat gahapon.
Ikaw na siya. Siya ng last ni last. Sir.
Good morning, Sir Rex.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. So, sir, kumusta po ang demand ng power supply sa within Region 9 sa NGCP?
Again, babalikan ko po yung sinabi ko kanina. So far, it has been normal po. So, yung supply natin na transmit ng NGCP is normal. Tapos, with a comfortable margin against po sa peak demand po natin. And it has been that way for several weeks already po.
Nasaan na tayo na alert, sir? Yellow alert, green alert?
So far
red
po,
alert.
wala po tayong alert, whether red or yellow, dito sa Zamboanga Peninsula.
Reaction lang po, sir. Daming mga taxes sa binabayaran natin sa kuryente. So, pabor ba kayo, sir, na gawin isa na lang yung taxes? Reaction niyo po.
Hindi po, we cannot qualify that for NGCP because tulad nyo po, sumusunod lang po kami. So, what all the applicable laws pertaining to NGCP operations, sinusunod lang po namin. So, yung cap ng transmission charges is regulated and controlled by the relevant government agencies. So yun ang sinusunod namin. Then in terms of taxation and all other fees, Again, kung anong nakalagay sa franchise law ng NGCP and all other applicable laws from the relevant government agencies tulad ng BIR, sumusunod din kami. And at this point also, allow me to quote yung sinabi ng BIR commissioner during one of those Senate investigations. NGCP has been religiously paying its tax obligations po.
Okay, additional na lang po information sa interruption. So if ever NGCP dako ang yang coverage area, like sa Zamboanga del Sur, we have Aurora to San Miguel 69 kV line,
Totoo po.
Aurora to Magangon 69 kV line.
Yes po.
So if ever if ever NGCP ang interruption, dali ra na to mahibaw-an kay pila ka munisipyo ang way kuryente. If ever electric cooperative ang dunay interruption, pipila lang na siya ka barangay, purok. So dali ra gyud siya mahibaw-an if ever ang interruption asa nagikan NGCP or electric cooperative. Thank you po.
Okay, that's a
Tama
good
po,
point,
sir.
sir. O,
It is
diba?
one of those telltale signs na pag medyo malaki yung coverage ng interruption po, then it is possible na NGCP compared sa sinabi ni sir na probably sometimes one block lang, nakita mo sa next 2 or 3 blocks, lights on siya. So that means localized lang po yung interruption na yun.
Talagang they did their research talaga, no? Talagang marami silang alam.
Thank you po for the
Yes.
additional facts po, sir.
Oo, maraming salamat po sa ating mga media, sa inyong very interesting questions and your passionate reaction. Sir, last na lang po from my end.
Yes po, Ms.
Para lang
Joy.
po sa education po ng ating mga viewers and listeners, especially po sa ating mga kabataan, na medyo mix up pa rin po nila or medyo confused sila. NGCP, when we say NGCP, private or government?
NGCP po is a private operation po. Okay, so
Yes.
do not be confused sa name sa word na national sa buong company name ng NGCP. We are the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, but we are a private operation of the operation and maintenance department portion of the Philippine Power Grid. But then to qualify that, all of the assets being used in this operation and maintenance activity are owned by the Philippine government. And yung itatayo ng NGCP in the future, new towers and lines plus associated facilities and equipment like new substations and all, the moment they are already energized and they are online, then they also become part of that collection of government assets po.
So, klaro
So
na, sir,
still
no?
operation and maintenance of the whole thing, but yun nga, pag-aari po siya ng Philippine government.
Yeah, so to make it
So
clear,
NGCP operator lang po talaga.
yeah, si NGCP mismo, private. But
Yes
the
po.
assets, like the transmission,
They
the
all
grid,
belong to the government po.
government. And
Yes
you have
po.
a 25-year concession agreement.
Yes, we just celebrated 17 years last January po. So that would be 8 years more. Then hopefully we will pass all the stringent evaluation of the government and be granted as the additional 25 years for the total of 50 that is embedded in the NGCP franchise law or RA 9511 po.
Okay, very briefly, before tayo magtapos, before we let you go, no? When we say concession agreement, very briefly, ano po ibig sabihin nun?
We are NGCP as an entity is allowed by government through its legal franchise, that's Republic Act 9511, to operate, maintain, develop, and expand the Philippine grid so that we can have an efficient and reliable power system operation in the country.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Well said. Sir, yung inyong call to action po sa ating mga manonood before we let you go, o yung mensahe niyo po, especially sa ating mga power consumers.
To our power consumers, NGCP is here to serve you as the country's sole transmission service provider. And NGCP is always trying to do its best every day to be the best possible power utility it can possibly be. Not only in the Philippines, but hopefully as well as in the nearby ASEAN region. Thank you, Ms. Joy.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Once again, Mr. Ito, kailangan ko nang makuha ng maayos, no? Baka magalit na sa akin si Sir.
Hindi
Mr.
naman po.
Teotimo Romel Ikaw, Lead Specialist, Government Relations and Regional Affairs ng Public Relations Division of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines o NGCP. So once again, maraming salamat po sa ating panauhin. Thank you also to our viewers and of course our media friends na nandito po ngayon. And thank you sa buong puwersa ng Philippine Information Agency, sa ating technical team. Maraming salamat sa ngalan po ng aming PCO Secretary Dave Gomez at ng aming Director General Catherine Chloe S. De Castro. Ito po si Jocelyn Alvarez na nagsasabing kita-kita muli sa susunod na episode ng Kapihan sa Rehiyon Nueve.